Hi, it's Doug here. New game time. This is one I had no idea about. I was listening to a podcast and they talked about this being released at the Pegasus Spiele 2025, and I did a quick Google and saw it was in stock at my local game store, so I raced down and picked it up. Sorry about my cat who's howling in the background. And yeah, this is Boss Fighters QR by Michael Palm and Lukas, published by Pegasus Spiele. It is for 2 to 4 players, and it'll probably take about 45 minutes to play a game. Now, I have not played this all the way through. This is basically a boss battler. We dive into daring battles with 2 to 4 heroes as you face off against 10 unique and intelligent boss monsters. What makes this special is all bosses are controlled by an app that dynamically responds to your actions. So yeah, so we have a fairly generic looking fantasy, boss battler. And I've played this 5 times. I've defeated the training boss and the boss 1 and boss 2. So I'm up to boss 3 out of 10 bosses. And I really, really, really like this game. Let's take a look inside. So when you open the box, you're presented with all this stuff. There are 3 or 4 punch boards. I've already punched the games out. You get this large square rulebook. I don't like large square rulebooks, but I'll forgive it this time because the game's so good. But yeah, large, quite easy to read rules, and very well presented, quite colourful. You also get a sheet of instructions about how to put your game back together, because this is part sort of card building, deck building game, part legacy game. Yeah, so as you work through the bosses, you may want to start again and put the game back together. And yeah, that sheet of page, that one page there will tell you how to do that. You get 4 characters. You get a halfling, a troll, an elf, and a dwarf. You get 4 classes of character, like a rogue, a warrior, a mage, and so on. You get these boxes here, which basically are cards that you will unlock. You've got a bronze, silver, and gold box. I have just unlocked the silver box. This box has been thoroughly unlocked and plundered, but yeah, I don't know what's in these 2 boxes yet. You basically get walked through the game and instructed to unlock boxes. You have all these little status tokens, poison and panic and so on. You've got these items, and you've got these health dials for your characters. So there's not a lot here, but the one thing that doesn't come with the game that you do need is some sort of tablet or phone device, smartphone. What you need to do here is download an app, because the app is integral to this game. You can't play it without an app. And yeah, so a tablet I think is ideal because everybody can see what's going on the screen. You will need that to play this game, but it's worth it. Yeah, so as I said earlier, I've played this game 5 times and I've been using these 2 characters. I've been using the elf and the dwarf. I think it's the wood elf and the copper dwarf. And you get these cards. Now I've blended the wood elf with the rogue, so it's a wood elf rogue, and I think it's a copper dwarf warrior. And so you get these 2 character cards, and you put these 2 cards together to work out the starting health. So down there you can see the starting health is 24, and the hand size is 6 cards. So basically, as you're playing the game, you can see it's just fairly standard fantasy, generic sort of, sword of smiting, ring of invisibility, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so it's all generic fantasy stuff. But the crux of the game is each card has either a melee attack, a ranged attack, or a magical attack, or it will offer protection. Protection is a very crucial aspect of this game. As well as the attacks, you also get supports. So if you see a little plus there, this will add support to a ranged attack. You can't play these types of cards unless there's already been a ranged attack, then you can play a support card. It doesn't matter which player at the table has played the ranged attack, as long as somebody has, you can support it. And yeah, now, the initial decks were 12 cards. I've gone through to level 2. I've defeated the level 2 boss, so my deck is now bloated to 22 cards. Hopefully there are no spoilers here. I have no idea what's coming, but I assume it only gets bigger and bigger and better. But the little clever, ingenious tweak here is every card has a QR code on the back. And that will become integral. These are all unique. I assume it's got to be, because the way the game works. So yeah, every every card here has a QR code on the back. And also, all the items here, the backpack and whatever, these will have QR codes on the back as well. Ingenious, and you'll see why in a sec. So to keep this quick and simple, I think we just play a very, very quick hand just so you can see how this game works. So there's nothing more than we're going straight to the pointy end of a generic fantasy game here. We're going straight to the boss. So it's not like something like Assault and Doomrock where you spend a bit of time interacting with town and whatever. Yeah, you're going straight to the pointy end. You're going to fight a boss. So what you do is, I've actually got 2 games running here. I've got Doug's Delvers, which is my main game where I've reached boss 3, but I've set up a little demo here. So I've got a demo. Let's go. You can set your table up here. It's really quite cool. You basically scan the cards to define your character and your seating position. And you just keep going. And we're just going to play Mr. Puppet. Which is basically just a training dummy, which we can just whack away, and you can just see how the game works. So yeah, you get a little bit of flavor text. The spinning dummy appears harmless and does not seem to have any special abilities. Do not expect any resistance. Basically, we just whack it. So we just go. Now, the app will basically run the game for you. You do get these reference cards, which tell you, phases and things like that, but you really, so far I haven't really needed them. The app just tells you what to do. So you draw your cards. I have a hand size of 6. Now I have got 2 players here. I've got my Wood Elf. Now these are at level 2, or they've defeated boss 2, so they're going to be slightly overpowered here, but here we can see what's going on here. So I've drawn my cards. You just advance the app. We're at round 1. Now the boss will basically prepare the attacks, so you do see what's coming here. So you can see Mr. Puppet is going to attack the Wood Elf with an attack 6, and the dwarf with an attack 4. We can do something about that by basically protecting ourselves, or we can just start hitting away. Now you can see we've set our dials up to 24 because that's what those 2 numbers mean. You add these 2 hearts together, that's our health. Let's go. Who's going to start the round? Well, the elf can start the round, and we will start with a ranged attack. Now, as the game gets tougher and tougher, these are the 3 attacks you can do, but there may be some shielding or something up here which will inflict some sort of negative effect on you. You may get poisoned, you may get cursed, you may have to break through some defenses before you can actually start hurting this monster. But we're going to attack with a crossbow. Here it is. And all you do is you just simply hold the card over the camera, and the app reads the QR code on the back, and it's taken 3 attack off the thing, off Mr. Puppet. It's done 3 damage to him. You can see we've now got 2 actions left in this round. The dwarf still has 3 actions. Now, because we've done a ranged attack, the dwarf could actually throw in his ranged support. So it's already been hit with a ranged attack, so we can just do some ranged support here with our throwing daggers. The app knows we've done throwing daggers, and Mr. Puppet is now down to 42. So now we have our second action with the elf. So you can see it goes around the table here, and that will emphasize the cooperative element of the game, where you've got to kind of work together. What I will do here is this may not work because this might be a level 2 card, but I'll try Viper's Tooth. It did work. So basically it did 2 damage and poisoned the boss. That will be additional damage to Mr. Puppet at the end of the round. Now, the dwarf appears to be all about protection and stuff like that. So, you Puppet. So what we will do is we will do a melee attack, the Blade of Wind. And that gave us 1 additional action, so we can do 1 more action here. So what I might do is I might protect myself with some chainmail, and that will take 4 damage off 1 hero. I could protect myself, or I could protect another hero. I'm going to protect myself. So you can see Mr. Puppet will now not attack me because I've basically covered all that damage with protection. Meanwhile, the elf rogue is just going to wear 6 damage and keep going with his last action, throwing knives. Mr. Puppet is down to 34. The dwarf has 1 more action. I think we will play Rune of the King. Each hero draws one card. So the app actually knows all these cards and tells you what to do. And the dwarf gets one more action from the Rune of the King. Might just throw a protection 4. Don't really need to, but I'm just showing you how it all works. A chest piece, we'll just take 4 protection. Now continue reading the rulebook. So basically, yeah, the app will guide you through the game, and it's almost like programmed instructions here. So it's all very clean, very intuitive. Kids would love this game, I think, because you get an app to play with. Right, so Mr. Puppet has done a sweeping attack, and the elf has to take 2 damage. Now, obviously, if that goes down to 0, we've lost. Mr. Puppet takes 1 poison damage. Now we can discard our cards. If anything we don't want to keep in our hand, we can discard at this point. So we could maybe just get rid of that. And we draw back up to our hand size. As you can see here, as my iPad battery goes flat, it's a pretty slick implementation. I haven't found any bugs in this yet. And you just keep going through until the monster's defeated or one hero has been defeated, in which case you lose. Otherwise you win. It's brilliant. I love this game. I just can't wait to keep working my way through the bosses. There's a lot going on in terms of, you know, the cards get more complex. You unlock new treats. You unlock new things like, I've just unlocked curses. I don't want to spoil the game too much. There's curses, there's poison. There's probably more to come as the bosses get bigger and better. But this is fantastic. I thoroughly recommend it. See you next time.